Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. Please excuse me. Sorry about that. I had to go powder my nose and then I went and got lunch. But anyway, today in this video, I'm going to share with you guys a story about one of the weirdest moments I had at work. And this is a story about how one time I was working one night and we had to call the police. And this is the sequel to how I walked in on the cops at work, which I'll link down below if you didn't see. And this is from the job that I had before. Or not the job I have now, but the job I had before. So this is the story just to let you guys know, sometimes you could just have the craziest things happen, or maybe the most awkward things happen when you're at your job. So I'm gonna get started and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So this all started about 5 years ago. I was working one night, I was working a shift one night at my job that I worked at before. A lot of you guys know, if you watch my channel, you know that one of my first jobs was a floater at a coffee shop. Coffee shop / bar. And I was working one night with my coworkers. Then as I'm bussing all the tables, so my jobs as a floater, I was going in between the kitchen, washing dishes, I was bussing tables and taking dirty dishes and then taking bar glasses. So I'm running around picking up all of the dishes that the customers have who are finished with their food. Then all of a sudden this customer, I think he's like in his maybe late, this customer is in her, excuse me, wrong person. This customer is in her maybe, I think it's like her mid 40s, early 50s. She starts talking to me. She goes, excuse me, we had to call the police. We talked to the bartender and we were wondering if the police were here yet. I was like really confused because I didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, what? And they're like, some lady got hit, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, by her boyfriend or something. I don't remember. And I'm like, wait, what happened? And then all of a sudden, our bartender that worked there at the time, he said, get in the kitchen, Mena. And I was really confused of why I needed to go in the kitchen. So I go into the kitchen and I close the door and my coworker is in there with me. And I asked my coworker, what happened? And she's like, this guy started hitting this woman, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what? Why? And she goes, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And we can't see technically what's going on, but we definitely can see a light flashing outside of the bar, and it is a cop car. And we don't see what's going on just because it's so dark outside. And excuse me. And I think they came in and I think they were clearing out the bar because I definitely could see some people leaving the bar, or they were going around to the front of the coffee shop. And please excuse Mr. Pickles barking. And I think they end up arresting the guy who was hurting the woman. And the cops, we definitely can see the cops taking the person in handcuffs to the car. And I think they start checking on the lady outside. I don't know what the lady looked like, but I think I could definitely hear them talking, and I think they were talking to the lady outside who got hurt. And they're like, you okay? Blah, 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 blah. She goes, yes, I'm fine, yada, yada, yada. And do you want us to call the hospital? Do you want us to call this? Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no. She's like, no, I'm fine. And I was a little bit shocked by what was just happening, and also very confused because I just did not expect to have the cops at my job again. And I thought that was really weird that some guy was hitting a lady at a public place where there were people, and I was hoping that that lady who got hurt was okay. And I was very glad they arrested her boyfriend, because that was not really okay for him to be hurting her or something. And then I start talking to my coworker, and she's like, "It's safe to come out of the kitchen, Mena." Well, actually, my coworker comes and gets me and goes, "It's safe to come out of the kitchen, Mena." And I ask my coworker, "Is the lady going to be okay?" And she's like, "Don't worry. Hopefully she will be fine. They arrested the man, yada, yada, yada." And she starts telling me about how they arrested the man who was hurting the woman. And the cops were here for not here, but at the restaurant for maybe, I'd say like 5 or 10 minutes, and they were arresting the person who was hurting the lady. But I was really worried about the lady who got hurt, and I was hoping she was okay. And they were like, "Don't worry, Mena, everything's gonna be fine." But I'm glad I didn't see what was going on with the person and her boyfriend or something, because I would have probably been traumatized. But I was really glad that they had called the cops when they witnessed what was going on. And I was also glad that everybody told me to get in the kitchen just in case before something happened to me, when the cops showed up. So the moral of the story is sometimes you do have the weirdest moments, especially at places when you least expect it, or maybe the scariest moments when you least expect it. Like, for instance, working, and then you have to call the cops because a customer is being abused by her boyfriend or whatever, yada, yada, yada. It's really, really scary, but I was very glad that they did call the police and got the person arrested. And I was also hoping that the lady was going to be okay. And I think she was. I don't know. They didn't say any news about her, but it's just sometimes, like, even the scariest things can happen at a place where you're normally safe at. When you least expect it. And it can be quite uncomfortable, but just don't let it bother you or traumatize you. So that was a story about how we had to call the cops one night while I was at work. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.